Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Whether you're live on stream right now watching me on Twitch or whether you're watching this video on demand on my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming. Something happened today, completely and utterly unexpected, out of left field. Yes, it's shocking. I don't know what's going on. I'll in a nutshell explain what happened, and I'm going to tell you about what I'm going to do moving forward. It's very important that you guys know what to do about the future of my content, where to watch me and everything, because I've come to a determination, at least for the short term, and also for the long term. Alright?
Alright, so listen, if you don't know about DSP, you don't understand the lore and the magnificence of this individual, I recommend you do two things. One, click off this video and save your IQ. Or two, take some of the IQ points that you have, maybe have it allocated towards math, maybe have it allocated towards English, maybe a little bit for history. Take those IQ points, segregate them from the rest, kill them off, make some free space. Because in order to understand DSP, you need to give up at least an eighth of your brain. At least an eighth of your brain has to be dedicated to the legend known as DSP. Now, DSP is probably most popular now for being a quote-unquote lolcow or meme machine or someone who's just a cringy Twitch YouTuber. For me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was 13 at the time. I used to watch this motherfucker every fucking day. I literally watched his entire God of War playthrough. That was a God tier playthrough. His Alan Wake playthrough when the lights went out. I was one of those motherfucking autist kids going, oh my god, that's crazy. I watched his Borderlands playthrough. I wanted to kill myself when I didn't know how to use the backpack SDUs, etc. So I've watched a lot of his OG playthroughs on his Dark Side Phil channel. Ever since 2015 and onward, since he started, Twitch streaming, ironically, like, the more successful he's become financially, the less I've watched him, and the more I've just watched, like, quote-unquote troll channels. So that's my resume. I'm sure you were interested in that. But if you know who DSP is, what he just said happens on an almost yearly cycle. Like, this motherfucker will have a goddamn fucking catastrophic event happen, if not every year, every other year. If it's not the fact that he can't afford his bills, if it's not the fact that all of a sudden he owes $1 million in taxes, and by the way, I love how DSP somehow took the fact that what every American does, pay their fucking taxes, and turned it into a literal catastrophic event. Or if it's the fact, the OG reason why his entire realm of existence was going to be destroyed is because he couldn't get ads on YouTube anymore because he told people to go to his channel and click all the ads. So his big brain decision was to go to Blip TV, aka Dog Shit TV, and have people follow him there. Now, whenever catastrophic events happen to DSP, he'll usually say something along the lines of,
to my knowledge, I've done nothing wrong. I wasn't contacted by Twitch to be told that I did anything wrong and that I was being punished. It's just...
DSP will literally always say, it's not my fault, I did nothing wrong. And 99.999% of the time, it's 100% his fault. Like, he literally fucked up somewhere along the line to make him fall into the situation he was in. Like, even when he had the OG, like, I'ma fucking lose all my livelihood type shit, like, I need to pay all this money in taxes. The reason why he owed so much money in taxes is because his dumbass did not pay taxes for years, basically, because he thought he didn't have to. And then what ended up happening is that he owed a bunch of back taxes. And what's funny is that usually with a lot of these events, they're not only caused by him and his actions, but it's a common theme, right? He often will fuck up or do something, and it's through his reactions and the way that he is that he ends up making a lot of his hardcore fans into hardcore quote-unquote detractors or haters. And I'll give you an example, right? Like I said, his original format shift from YouTube to Blip.tv. Now, at this point in time, I wasn't autistic enough and retarded enough to basically hate him because he went to Blip TV. I just simply dropped him. Like, I'm not going to use this dog shit website with this dog shit features. I'm just going to drop it. It's literally ass. And that's similar to what happened to DSP kind of sort of recently. Although he hasn't decided to drop Twitch and start streaming on YouTube for more ad revenue and money, he did do a similar thing in the past in 2015. By the way, in 2015, so I still remember this. Like, it's crazy because, again, DSP will have things happen to him, and then what ends up happening is that he'll go through, like, iterations of retelling the story. Eventually, he'll get to a point where it's evolved where he's the victim and someone fucked him over, and at the end of the day, there was nothing he could do. But his OG downfall, not really his OG downfall, but one of the more remarkable downfalls he's had, is that in 2015, he used to stream on Twitch, and when he was on Twitch, he was streaming at a bit rate of 1080p, right? And that's a little bit too much, and it fucks up the Twitch servers. And at that point in time, Twitch wasn't acquired by Amazon, so they didn't really have the AWS infrastructure. So they're like, yo, DSP, can you lower that? And DSP, in response to them telling him, you know, stream at 720p, he had a literal mental breakdown where he's like, listen, guys, I make YouTube videos, and these YouTube videos need to be in 1080p because the better the quality, the more views, the more people watch it, blah, blah, blah. And at that time, he was super fuck Twitch. Like, he was in, I love YouTube. YouTube pays my bills. YouTube's a shit. I'm never to go on Twitch and beg like a fucking cocksucker because I'm a real man, and real men make ad money off YouTube. Now, I mean, if you could ever see the coin flip harder than this, God bless you, because I don't think I've ever seen a bigger 180 in my life, because now DSP only does Twitch, so much so that, like, you can't really enjoy his YouTube videos because he's always talking to people on Twitch and doing different things, and he's basically a streamer at this point in time. But in 2015, because of that reaction of, like, not being able to do his videos in 1080p, which is ironic because if you know anything about DSP from the years of 2010 and 2014, his most popular years, he used to make videos with a fucking video camera that he would point at his TV because he was too fucking lazy to just fucking put a capture card in and capture it, because he kept saying I didn't want to edit shit, when in reality all you have to do is press play, record, stop, and fucking upload it. Either way, I'm not gonna lie, I watched multiple of his fucking playthroughs. As much shit as I talk about DSP, he has literally been a wealth of fucking entertainment, pre and post trolling. Before people hated him, I loved his God of War playthrough. I loved his Borderlands playthrough, even though it was fucking cringe as fuck when he couldn't use the backpack SDUs. His Alan Wake playthrough was really fucking good. In general, DSP is an entertaining individual. At least he was more so in the past for me. And then everything past 2015, it's like it's crazy how much content has come out. Like hating DSP was such a lucrative business that it actually gave birth to a fucking gang of people called the Sons of Kojima, which ended up being cringe as fuck. But it's safe to say, like, people hated DSP so much that it fucking created industries around the fucking topic. So anyway, 2015, DSP decides to have a fucking streamer YouTube moment where he literally loses his mind and says, I have to drop Twitch and go back to YouTube streaming because I don't want to use Twitch anymore. And what he did is that he forced people to go to YouTube streaming, which was ass, and it didn't have, like, moderator privileges, and it wasn't as good as Twitch at the time. And as a response to this, and this is a common theme, but this is the biggest time this has happened, because DSP basically said fuck you to the people that watch him, and basically said, like in the past where he said, listen, I'm going to Blip TV, dog shit service, but follow me. He then at that time said, fuck Twitch, I'm going to YouTube, follow me. But at that time, he had a lot more autistic people under his fucking umbrella, and a lot more people that were ready, willing, and able to ride for the fucking cause. And what they ended up doing is they actually ended up like they really fucked him, because what he did was that he had a bunch of his fans moderate and take control of his website, and in response to this, they basically hacked his website. They put up a bunch of pornography, hentai. I wish I saved screenshots of it because it was crazy. Like, you just go to the website, you just see random titties in your face. It's like, what the fuck? But what's even worse for DSP is that in 2015, they started false DMCA striking literally everything he had, and basically what he says is that literally bankrupted him in terms of YouTube and made it so that, like, none of his content was, like, viewed as much anymore. But in my opinion, I think that DSP just, like, made his fans so fucking salty that it's gotten to the point now, like, you can't comment on any of his videos because you know what the comments are going to be. There's always dislikes on his videos. It's never positive. And from someone who liked him from the past, like, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, I think that this isn't the real DSP, and I don't mean to say that to be like a cringe lord, but he is in a certain point of his life where he literally needs to go on Twitch and beg people for money. And when he first started YouTube, he was an independent individual. He had his own job. YouTube was extra income. He wasn't so cringy. He wasn't someone who, like, literally sat home all fucking day and asked for tips. Like, listen, even though I was 13, I thought he was a cool dude, even though he was from Connecticut. I mean, the only good thing to come out of Connecticut was pretty much the D'Amelio sisters, because, come on, who doesn't love TikTok? But, you know, DSP's a close second. But now DSP is reiterating his old ways. He's going through another DSP-ism cycle where, because he is recently kicked off of Twitch partner program, he now loses a lot of money from Twitch. And also, this is a big deal, his fans can no longer cheer or subscribe to him where he'll get money for it. And because of that, DSP has the big brain Omega Shenron idea that, well, obviously what you need to do is...
For example, there's some of you every day who cheer all the time. Major Riot is one of them. He does the Chef Boyardee cheers, right? Are you willing to convert over? See, Major Riot says, no, I will not tip.
So DSP basically says, all of his fans, he tells all of his fans, you cannot tip, you cannot subscribe anymore, which, by the way, I was doing that. I'll give that to DSP. I've had a Twitch Prime account because of Amazon Prime, and I've given DSP $5 over the past, 3 years, every month. So, really, when you think about it, I've given this motherfucker almost $200. So, I basically bought the right to talk shit right now. But basically, he's telling his fans to directly donate money to him through PayPal. But people don't want to do that because they're afraid that their information is going to get leaked, because that's already happened in the past with DSP, where people have found out about people's real names. And PayPal is pretty much the boomer version of Cash App, where they want you to use your real name and do all of your transactions through their, regular ass, my name is fucking Dick McGee, here's money to DSP. I don't know why DSP doesn't understand the concept of Cash App, Venmo, or cryptocurrency. Like for him, for some reason, PayPal is the only way that anyone can give him money. It's literally fucking impossible for him to get money any other way. But what's funny is that he then goes on to chastise his fans and say that they're assholes if they don't tip, because it's so easy and so simple, and all they got to do is just give him the fucking money.
That's right, Major Riot. Now is the time you would normally do a 100-bit cheer about Chef Boyardee, but you can't anymore. But you know what you can do? You could tip me $1. Yes, you can. There's no excuse why. Stop.
Dude, it's crazy that he says there's no excuse why. You gotta understand, when you're a quote-unquote internet content creator or someone that people watch, the whole point is that people like you and they want to come join you, and hey, if I'm having so much fun, I'm going to give you money because I'm having such a great time in this moment, and fuck it, I'm going to give you $1, $2, $5, maybe $1,000 for some feet pics. But the point is that you're having fun. DSP is literally taking the route of a disgruntled stepfather who's telling their fucking son, you need to get a job and contribute towards the rent. He's just so, he's so fucking aggressive that it's scaring me. If I was one of his autistic fans, I'd be fucking shook too. Yo, I don't want to give you my name, my address, and then have you pull up one day when I don't give you a $10 tip and tell me to bend over and pay up. What the fuck? But as you can see, DSP will go on to explain why there should be no repercussions or no hesitation to donating money.
Having crazy phobias about PayPal, and you could tip the $1 and make your joke about Chef Boyardee, and I'd still enjoy it. Yes. Either that or the meme's gonna die. You understand that, right? You were the one who was single-handedly upholding.
Yeah, that's insane. Bro, the fact that DSP, sinks to a low where he's, emotionally... he's emotionally manipulating the people that he watches, where he's yo, we were having a good time, right? We were having a great time. He sounds like a fucking drug addict that used to smoke crack with, and he's yo, man, you remember when you had that rock? We used to have a good time, a great time. You come through, we spark up. Now you come around, man, there ain't no rock, there ain't no money. What's the point? DSP literally could care less about people watching him, and all he cares about is the money coming in. And what's funny is that as DSP complains about the fact that he has no money, he's super broke, he's on some straight I'ma fucking die shit, because in the past he was getting money from Twitch, and now he's not. Well, here's the thing, right? Before I even go into the financial aspect of this, you gotta understand that DSP literally has more money than most Americans. He's in the top 10% of earners. He basically made at least 140 grand not even last year. Dude, this is what's crazy, right? This is what's fucking crazy. Is that DSP is complaining right now that he has no money, but a mere, 6 months ago, this was going on. Okay, so... if you don't know, I made this video a long-ass time ago where I literally forgot this about DSP for a good year. But at that time, DSP had gone 50 days in a row where people had gave him $100 to put on a vest. I'm being dead serious. For some reason, the people that watch him, had a fucking boner for him putting on a fucking vest. He's a GTA San Andreas character putting on different outfits. And as you can see here, from March to September, so think about it, March, April, May, June, July, August, September... that's about 7 months. This motherfucker made $27,600 in extra income. This is not counting the $5 grand he gets from Twitch every month. This is not counting the amount of money he gets in terms of subs. This is not counting any other money he gets with his significant other. This is just people that tipped him and were fuck it, here you go. And this is the minimum, by the way. There was a couple times that people tipped fucking $200, $300. which is insane. And, like, this was him, like, a couple months ago, and now he's on the brink of financial ruin and financial, like, destruction. And that's the thing that makes me personally, like, I'm an older individual now. It's crazy to think that I started watching DSP in fucking sophomore year of high school, and now it's been several years out of college and I have a job. And I unfortunately know what it's like to work for a living, and I unfortunately know what it's like to budget, and I unfortunately know what it's like to be in the motherfucking streets and be in the motherfucking, like, be in the lowest of lows. Like, I literally have one of the best paying jobs in America at this point in time. Thank God. You know, the economy's fucked, but I have a decent job. And I'm still living like a rat because I'm so fucking broke that I'm a stimulus check for my family, and before I can maybe have enough money to buy my own house and move the fuck up out this trap house, it's going to be a while, right? Meanwhile, DSP not only makes this much money, but a couple months earlier, this motherfucker had 2 houses, was paying them both off, and that was what eventually led to his bankruptcy and led to his financial ruin. But then, as you can see here, from March to September, this motherfucker got a super stimulus check where, like, motherfuckers was getting their stimulus check from Donald Trump and fucking Joe Biden, and they're just like, yo, let me give this shit to DSP. Why would I keep fucking an extra $1,400 in the bank when I could just tip and say what up to my boy? So you gotta understand, it's very hard to be empathetic to DSP just because of the fact that, like, he digs his own hole. He basically is a person that is, like, fucking retarded. Like, I think the only person that I've ever seen be, like, as brain dead when it comes to money is probably the females in my life. Like, they just don't know what the fuck. I think they just think this shit just grows on trees and, like, fuck it, use it or lose it, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that DSP is always at the brink of financial ruin, even though his fans go above and beyond to help him out. Like, in what world could you be, like, a couple of $100 behind on rent, and then you go to your job and you're like, yo, man, I'm going to be short this month, and then your coworkers come through like, you know what, bro, I got you. Here's $500, here's $200, here's $100, put it all together. And the crazy thing is, like, this wasn't that long ago. Like, right now it's May, right? It's May, okay? So January, February, March, April, May. That's 5 months. And then let's just say from September, October, November. So that's 3 months. So 8 months. You're telling me within 8 months, this surplus of money got deleted, got destroyed? And that's another thing. Like, these people always say, oh, this is really good. Like, I got this money, but understand it all went towards my bills. Like, like he always says, it doesn't matter how much money I make, it's about my bills. Like, this motherfucker will make the argument that even though I'm getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, I have to pay this and that, therefore I'm poor. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him, dude. Like, he literally moved from Connecticut to Washington State to save money, but he never sold his property in Connecticut, so kept paying for it, and then moved to Washington and kept paying. Like, I don't know what goes through his head. I'd be lying if I said I understood it. But the point I'm trying to make here is that he has made so much fucking money, and last year, 2020, was literally probably his best year financially, and now he's so salty. Like, his salt is through the roof, that Twitch magically dropped him, and he's so fucking salty that he has to, like, convince people to give him money directly to PayPal, and that he can't just, like, you know, sit back, relax, and have the motherfucking subs and tips and bits and shit and whatever the fuck else just roll in. And what's crazy is that some dude on Reddit, as you know, like, there's people online who will do the math, and this guy basically figured out that in the past 14 days, DSP has essentially made $200 a day. Like, he's wait, is it $200 a day or more? No, not 200, more like, let's do some, let me first of all, let me just not try to do math, because there's no reason. I only minored in this shit, so why would I know how to fucking do any type of fucking regular arithmetic? 7401 divided by 14 equals $500 a day. God damn, that's a lot of money. So, ever since he got kicked off the Twitch, and ever since he started begging like a motherfucker, he basically has kicked up his donations in overdrive. And holy motherfucker, this guy made $1,000 one day? Fuck, dude, I am in the wrong profession, bro. I'm a dumbass for going to fucking college, and I'm a dumbass for getting my job. But he basically made a shit ton of money ever since he started begging, like hardcore begging. And what's crazy is that he's still upset. Like, he's so upset that he can't see the future, and he's so upset that he can't, like, see a consistent stream of income when, like, he's already been given a surplus and somehow squandered it or has done whatever. And I don't know if this is true. Everybody says it's true. I don't know if it is true, but allegedly he spends thousands of dollars on mobile games. I feel like that's not true, because I feel like DSP's fucking retarded, but I don't think he's that retarded. But at the end of the day, what can I say? I would like to say that DSP is his own worst enemy. I would like to say personally, this might sound like some cappery, but DSP was one of the coolest people. He was one of the funniest people. He was honestly, like, I'm not going to lie, he was like my #1 YouTuber in terms of like content creation. I'd say still in terms of like, content, in terms of his own videos as well as people around him, you can't say anyone beats him, dude. Like, there's literally no one as good as DSP and the people around him when it comes to content. Like, these motherfuckers will make the most ridiculous autistic ass videos. These motherfuckers will make literally montages and 3-hour epics of crazy shit, just for the point of, let me see, I actually want to see a video that this guy had. Here it is, right here, bro. This video that Mighty D made is called How DSP Changed. Dude, it's like a small snippet of depression where DSP used to be the legit bastion of autism, hope, and entertainment, and now he's basically been degraded and deformed into a begging individual online. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I think that this whole Twitch quote-unquote career has ruined DSP from a personal perspective. I think that if he was more independent and he made his own money, he wouldn't have to, like, kowtow to people that were his fans. He wouldn't have to act a certain way. He wouldn't have to fucking, like, pretend like he gives a fuck about Shift Boy or D memes when really he doesn't give a fuck about that. Everybody knows it's about Selsun Blue. Motherfucker had a sponsorship deal before sponsorship deals existed with Selsun Blue. So, at the end of the day, all I could say, I've been a 10-year veteran, a fan of DSP. I probably have at least a moderate to severe form of autism, and I hope DSP gets better, and I'm probably going to look into getting a loan or some type of stream of income coming in. That way I can donate more money. You should too. And remember, it doesn't matter how much thousands of dollars you make. It matters about what bills you have. And right now DSP needs hella money to pay those bills, so chip in.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!